Have you ever wondered what it would be like to combine the ancient, rock solid security of gold with the crazy speed of modern digital payments? Well, today, we're going to dive into a system that claims to do just that, giving you the stability of a real, physical asset with the everyday convenience of a credit card.
It sounds a little like financial magic, doesn't it? But the core idea is actually pretty straightforward. Let you spend the value of your assets, like gold and silver, while the physical stuff itself stays locked away, safe and sound. You get all the convenience of cash, but you never actually have to sell your investment. So, to really understand how this is even possible, we're going to walk through 5 key parts. We'll kick things off by looking at the fundamental problem this whole system is trying to solve, this growing clash between the money in our banks and the real tangible value of physical assets. Okay, so at the very heart of all this is the idea that we're living in a world with two completely different kinds of money. And honestly, they play by completely different rules. And when you put them side by side, the difference is just stark. On one side, you have government-issued fiat currency, the dollar. It's basically built on debt, and let's be honest, it's designed to lose value over time through inflation. But on the other side, you've got sound money like gold, a real, tangible, and finite asset that has held onto its purchasing power for thousands of years. Yeah, that massive number, that's roughly the US national debt. And it's a huge reason why people are getting worried. I mean, when the savings you have in the bank can buy you less and less every single year, it brings up a pretty critical question. How do you protect your wealth in a system that seems to be built on a mountain of ever-growing debt? Okay, so if you want to anchor your wealth in something real, like sound money, where do you actually put it? Well, that brings us to the first big piece of this system, your very own private vault, or as the folks who built this call it, your private central bank. So this UPMA trust is the legal bedrock of the whole thing. The best way to think about it is like a specialized vault, or your own personal treasury. But instead of holding dollars that are constantly losing value, it's built specifically to hold and protect the physical weight of your gold and silver, keeping your wealth safe from the effects of inflation. And the absolute key here is control. Since you're the creator of this trust, you have total flexibility to change it or even get rid of it completely. A professional co-trustee is there to make sure everything's legally sound. But what's really powerful is how it's designed for your legacy. Just imagine passing on an inheritance. Instead of your family getting a check for, say, $100,000 that's worth less every year, they get the equivalent value in physical gold backs sent right to their digital wallet. You're passing on the exact purchasing power you intended. And get this, the system puts your wealth preservation on autopilot. You don't have to sit there watching the markets. A smart contract keeps an eye on your cash balance, and when it hits a certain point, boom, it automatically converts that depreciating fiat currency into a stable asset-backed currency. And every single one of those conversions gets permanently recorded on something called a notary chain, which is basically an unchangeable ledger that gives you a crystal clear audit trail. Okay, so your assets are now totally secure in your private treasury. Awesome. But how do you use that value to, buy groceries or pay your rent? Well, this is where the bridge comes in, the tool that connects your sound money to the everyday fiat economy. This quote right here, this is the entire philosophy. The goal is not to sell your gold just to buy a cup of coffee. No, it's to use the value of that gold, giving you the convenience of cash without ever having to sell off your core assets. And the TrueLink card is that bridge. It looks and feels just like any other credit card you've ever used. You can use it to pay for pretty much anything in US dollars, but what's happening behind the scenes is that your actual wealth stays safely anchored in real gold and silver inside your trust. And this whole system is really built to scale. As you can see, access is managed through these different tiers. So an individual might just have a basic account with a few cards for their family. A business could manage dozens of cards for all their expenses. And then at the enterprise level, it can even support banks or government agencies with an unlimited number of cards, all drawing value from that same core asset base. So we've seen the vault and we've seen the bridge. Now let's actually connect them. Here's a quick step-by-step look at what really happens when you use the card to buy something. Let's make it real. You've got a simple $100 bill you need to pay. How does this system let you take care of that debt in regular fiat currency using the value of gold that's physically sitting in a vault somewhere else? All right, this 3-step flash loan happens in like a fraction of a second. They call it atomic settlement. When you swipe your card, the system instantly creates this tiny loan of fiat currency to pay the merchant.
Then, in that same instant, it repays that loan using the value of your tokenized gold. It's like borrowing and repaying a dollar at the exact same moment.
And that right there is the magic trick. The merchant gets paid in dollars, your bill is settled, but your physical assets, your real wealth, never ever left your control. The actual gold atoms never moved. You spent the value, not the asset. So when you put all of these pieces together, what does it all really mean? Well, this isn't just about some fancy card or a special trust account. It's about building a fundamentally new kind of financial operating system. The whole system really rests on these two pillars. The UPMA Trust is your personal treasury, your vault, where you build up real, physical wealth. And the TrueLink card, that's your bridge, your spend rail that gives you a totally seamless way to use the value of that wealth in your everyday life.
So when you step back, you realize this is so much more than just a product. It's an entire operating system, and it's designed for what you might call financial sovereignty. The whole point is to give regular people and businesses the same powerful financial tools that until now have pretty much only been available to central banks.
That's a pretty provocative question, isn't it? As the lines between physical value and digital value just keep getting blurrier, innovations like this are forcing us to rethink what money even is, and, maybe more importantly, who controls it. So, will having your own private central bank become the new standard for preserving wealth? I guess only time will tell.